Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you about a guy who climbed Mount Everest. You probably have heard this. Maybe it seems like, yeah, I've heard of people climbing Mount Everest. It's no big deal. Well, this one's a big deal. Multiple people have, but a guy named Erik Weihenmayer, I hope I'm saying that right. May 25th, 2001, he reached the peak of Mount Everest. That's awesome. You're like, good for you, Erik, right? Let me tell you something about Erik. He is blind. Yep. So now you're like, oh, and he got to the peak of Mount Everest. 90% of climbers never make it to the top. Not just like 90% of people, those who try, 90% don't make it. And this blind guy made it to the top. I want to tell you a story because how he made it top, you might already be going, okay, wait a minute. I believe you. You're a pastor. I don't think you're lying to me that a blind guy reached the very top of Mount Everest. But how did he do it? Well, let me tell. So he had teammates. He had to have teammates. That's necessary. So he's got people behind him, in front of him, guiding him, and he's having to listen, I think, in a way that you and I are like, whole nother level of listening. So they would yell at him. Here's some of the commands. Death fall 2 feet to your right. I mean, so you can't see it. You have no idea it's there, but 2 feet to his right, death fall. And the only way he doesn't fall to his death is to listen to one of his teammates scream at him, death fall to the right 2 feet. He would listen to the sound of the ice pick jabbing into the ice, and that would help him understand where others were in connection to where he was. Took just like crazy, dangerous journey to the peak of Everest, blind. Now, why is that a big deal? Here's why I bring it up. I preached a sermon about crucial conversations, and what I want to talk to you about just very shortly is how desperate you and I are to be heard, not listen. I think you and I are more desperate. We have this craving in us more that we satisfy one of these cravings is to be heard. We want to be heard so badly that I think we're not listening well. And in these crucial conversations, I talked a lot about, hey, what do you say to the person? You're kind of trying to deliver some tough news or sensitive news, awkward news. And it was a lot about how do you deliver it? I spent just a little bit of time on listening. Let's talk about listening now. When I come home, I love coming home because I come home and Bo's in the stage right now where I can hear his feet start. Then he starts to giggle. Then he starts to say, Dada, and he starts running to me. And I love picking him up, and he gives me a hug and a kiss, and he begins to blabber about stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. But I think he's telling me about his day. Then Titus will come by, and he's like, Dad, and he'll just tell me a story about his day. Eventually, my teenagers, I'll get to them, and Ellie I'll say, hey, how was your day? And she has no problem then just kind of unloading about what she wants me to know about the highs and the lows. Hayden is usually the slowest one to want to talk to me about everything that's going on, but just the other day, Hayden was talking to me about how someone approached him and asked him to do something that he's kind of intimidated to do, and he really just wanted someone to hear about his fears. I wasn't going to fix anything, but he wanted someone to hear him. We want to be heard. I want to acknowledge right now that you do not have enough people in your life listening to you. I don't either. But I want to give you a challenge. James 1:19. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen. You must all be quick to listen. Slow to speak and slow to get angry. I just wanted to interrupt your feed, your life for a second and tell you, I know you want to be heard, but God has called you to listen. So use this week in all your crucial conversations, in all of your moments of being desperate that you want to say what you want to say and express what you want to express. May you get better this week at listening to someone who does need to be heard.